Yo, what's good everybody? In today's video, I'm gonna be giving you a full meme coin course, taking you from the very beginning, right? This is where you're not even know a single thing about crypto into very advanced techniques and strategies that I use to know where to get in on coins and where to get out on coins. So without any further ado, let's get started. So the first thing that you're gonna be needing to do in crypto in general is you're gonna need to get your hands on crypto, right? How do I buy crypto? Where do I buy crypto? These are all questions that you guys are asking, right? So where you're going to be able to buy crypto. So firstly, you're going to need money. If you don't have money, then go get a job, right? Go work at McDonald's or whatever, right? Get you a little bit of money. Now, second of all, you're going to need an exchange. You're going to need an exchange to exchange your dollars, your rubies, your rubles, your euros, your pounds into crypto, right? So you need to exchange these, but how? You're going to be using an exchange like Kraken, Coinbase, Gemini, all these different exchanges. And the cool thing is with these exchanges, they give you sign-up bonuses, right? For example, Gemini gives you 75 in any crypto of your choice. Same thing with Kraken. I'll have these all linked in my Discord down below so that you guys can farm all these bonuses when you're getting started. If you do all these bonuses together, you can easily make like 400 to 700 USD in free crypto. Because what they would do is they want you to sign up for their exchanges and use them because they make a little bit of fees on it, right? Which adds up over time, right? So if you buy like $100 in crypto, they take like 2% or whatever, right? So you don't even have to use all the exchanges. You could just make the exchange, sign up, boom, right? Get the bonus. And this way you already have a head start out of everybody else in crypto, right? Because most people start off losing. And in this scenario, you could start off, let's say you do lose and you lose 500, right? All your bonus money. You basically never lost in the first place because all this money is for free. So if you guys need me to show you exactly how to do that, if you guys need help with any of this, feel free to join the Discord down below. I'll show you exactly what to do, exactly how to farm all these bonuses. I have a whole list of every single bonus. There's like 10 different, 12 different bonuses, and there's new ones coming out all the time. So if you guys do need starting capital or you do need crypto to start out and it's hard to get a job in your area or whatever the case is, then join the Discord and we'll help you with that. Super easy, okay? So let's say you have an exchange, right? Like Kraken or Coinbase, and let's say you buy $500 worth of crypto, right? You're gonna wanna buy Solana or USDC and swap it into Solana, right? Because this is the trading, basically, this is the coin that everybody trades meme coins on. Now, we do have Ethereum, we do have BNB, we do have these other cryptos that meme coins are made on. But the most volume, the most active for meme coins is definitely Solana. And we do switch through metas, right? Like BNB, we did have a Tron meta. We had, what's that other one? Ton, which was on, like, it's a Telegram coin. It's Telegram's own coin. So primarily, like 90% of the runners and crazy coins are going to be on Solana. So you're going to buy Solana, okay? Now, if you have any less than like $10, $20, like, I mean, you're probably going to need a job, right? Because like it takes time to build this skill. Everybody tries to sell you the false reality that meme coin trading, you can make millions overnight, which yes, that's true, right? You can make a ton of money very quickly and you could flip a small amount into a big amount, but you guys are going to be learning, okay? Like you're going to lose money. Like it's like 99% guaranteed you're going to lose money starting off. Now, how do you mitigate that, right? Let's say you bought your $500 worth of crypto. You're not going to trade that. You're just going to have it in crypto so you're ready, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to go to a website called Soul Sniper. So I'll have this linked in the Discord as well. So what this is this is a paper trading platform where you could trade meme coins without using your real money. You can learn how to trade. You can learn how to buy and sell. You can learn how to do every single thing in meme coins, right? You can learn how to set filters, okay? You can do all these different things in crypto, paper trading, right? And this is the best platform to do that. You can see my starting balance is my starting balance is 100. That's what everybody starts off with, 100 Sol. I've already built it up to 312. And what you can do is you can look for coins that look good, right? So let's look at this meme note. It's at 56K market cap. So this one is an obvious rug. I know that. But if you're new, you wouldn't know that, right? And you would buy in with your real money and you would get rugged, right? Which would definitely suck because you don't want to do that. So as I'm seeing, like, here's another rug coin, right? So I would obviously want filters. So if you haven't if you don't have filters on anything yet, I would highly recommend watching my video on how to do filters. Right now, I'm going to turn everything off aside from Pump Fund and Bonk, because this is where all the volume is, primarily on Bonk actually. It used to be a lot on Pump Fund, but primarily it's on Bonk at the moment. So we're going to use these filters, and you can see we only have this many coins, right? Compared to a lot more now. We can look at Obama coin, OHD. Now this looks like more of a natural chart, right? So I'm going to demonstrate, right, buying with this coin on this paper trading platform. So I could literally buy with 10 SOL right now, right? Instant trade, and these are my fees. So I buy, and boom, it bought me in. So this shows me my average price or my average entry, right? And it's not going to show on the transactions, obviously, because it's not real money. But everything else, it imitates, right? Imitates your fees. It puts that into the price. And I can already see that I'm up 0.71 SOL. So 7%. I'm already up 0.7 SOL. So almost a SOL, right? Someone's just sold 5 SOL, so they just cooked the price. So I might get rugged, right? Like, I don't care because this is just me demonstrating. Now, obviously, this was a super top blast. So I'm going to explain how you're going to be trading, right? Because this is not something you're going to want to do, right? You're not going to top blast. You need to have strategy going into this, right? So now we can sell, okay? We're going to sell 100%, and it's going to be like 9.2 SOL, right? So we had a tiny loss. Boom. And this is our P&L. So this is exactly how you paper trade, right? Oh, wow. And that just goes back up. Oh, it looks like a MEV or something. Oh, no, it did go up. Okay. So you can change all your fees to what you would actually do when you're trading meme coins. And you could even start with normal amounts, right? Like say you wanted to learn how to do it with 1 SOL and run 1 SOL to 10 SOL. You could do that 100%. And this is the thing. This is what you need to do if you're learning, because this is how you start developing the skill on how to click buttons, how to do this, how to do that, instead of having to learn it with your own money, right? Because this is like instead of going and paying for your school tuition, because that's what trading meme coins is, or trading in general, trading in stock market or futures or anything. What your tuition is, you're paying for lessons, right? You're losing money, but you're basically paying for lessons as long as you're learning from them, right? But this is a way to pay for your lessons without paying with actual money and wasting your own money. So this is what I wish I knew and wish I had, because this platform wasn't out when I was trading meme coins at the beginning. At first we had Phantom Wallet, and then if you trade on Phantom Wallet still or Deck Screener, you're just cooked. I mean, like, you got to use Axiom, you got to use Padre, you got to use these platforms. All of them are linked in the Discord. I'll have them linked in the description as well, because this is what gives you the advantage over every single trader. Okay, so after you've been trading on sniper.xyz, Soul Sniper, whatever you want to call it, right? The paper trading platform, and you start to feel comfortable, or maybe you start to become profitable on this platform, then you start moving to the real thing, right? So then you can sign up for Axiom, which, I mean, you should already signed up for it right now, because you should have an account. You should at least be testing it out, right? Having everything set up, making your filters, right? On your new pairs, what we're going to do now is, let's say you're completely done with your paper trading. Let's say you're confident in your ability to trade, or you're starting to break even and you want to start trading with real money, okay? You're going to send the money from your exchange into your Solana wallet, right? Your perps is going to be completely different. This is if you're trading futures, into your Solana wallet. Now, what you can do is, if you already have your Phantom wallet downloaded, you can go to your settings and go to account and security. Then you're going to go to your wallets, manage wallets. You can get your private key, and you can put your private key into your Phantom. So that way you can access your Phantom and you can access your Axiom Pro within the same app. Just in case if you're, let's say, not on your computer, or let's say you wanted to send money from your phone into your Axiom, or vice versa, right? You can do it through Phantom. It's super easy, and your wallets are both connected. So let's say you bought $500, which would be, let me do the math, like 3 SOL, probably 3.5 SOL into your Axiom account, okay? So this is like your starting balance. Now, some people might have a bigger balance, like 10K. Some people might have an even smaller balance, like 1 SOL, which would be 175, 180. So you're going to want to run this up, right? The truth is, you don't want to have the ultra high, super high expectations on meme coins, because when you're starting out, because most people come in with, oh, I'm going to make $1 million from this $100, which, yes, that's 100% possible. but you also have to be realistic, right? You cannot be comparing yourself to Cupsy or West or any of these complete like monster traders that are making like 100K a day, 200K a day, because then you're going to get demotivated because you have to be realistic, right? Set your goals at, I'm going to make $100 today. I'm going to make $200 today. I'm going to make $500 today, right? Or I'm just going to break even. I want to make, instead of losing, I'm just going to break even today, right? You have to have realistic expectations for yourself because that's what's going to basically keep you alive and keep you moving in trading. Otherwise, 99% of people are just going to give up or lose all their money. So next, after you have Axiom, Padre, whatever trading platform, right? Like, I don't care. You guys can use whatever platform. I have all of them linked in the description. Whichever one you guys like the best, then do that. What's nice about Axiom and Padre is you get rake back on your fees. So you basically get like 30 or 40% back on your own trading fees. So you're basically getting paid to trade on the platform, which every platform charges fees. These ones are the lowest on the market and they're the best platforms. So I mean, like, why wouldn't you use them? So now you're going to have a bunch of random coins and like crap on here. So you're going to want to filter these out. So first you're going to go to filters and you're going to take all these off, right? You're going to turn all of them off and you're going to only select pump fund and bonk. And you're going to do this on new pairs. And then you're going to do the same on final stretch and the same for migrated. Now on final stretch, you can also even put launch lab if you want. And let's say one of the platforms like Jupiter, Studio, Moonshot is getting a lot of volume for that day, then turn it on. It's completely fine. What we're basically doing is we're trying to filter out trash, because if you have like 1,000 different things that you're looking at, you're going to get thrown off. You're going to get confused. It's best to keep the best things that are on there right now and the best coins, because it's going to limit your mind share so that you can really focus in on real good coins. So now for final stretch, the best filters in my opinion, which I do change depending on how the volume is and everything, the best, like overall, I would say the max age you want is 30 minutes, because anything older, you're going to get slower coins that are probably dying out and you just don't want to see them. You want to see coins that got momentum that are actually going to be able to move. And this is where I primarily trade, is on final stretch, because most of these new pair coins go absolutely to zero. And the best strategy for new pairs is going to be Twitter tracking, sniping. Okay. But for beginner traders, it's very, very, very complicated. And you're probably going to get rinsed because you're going to be buying after Cupsy or whatever, right? So max age is going to be 30 minutes max, and you're going to leave these ones blank. Okay. Now the max top 10 holders, you're going to have 40% on top 10 holder percentage. You're going to have 40% on dev holding percentage. You're going to have 40% on snipers, 40% on insiders, and 50% on bundles. These are all for max. You do not want any more than that, right? And I'm being lenient too. I could even put lower. Now for the, also the minimum market cap is going to be 10K. You don't want to see coins that are below 10K. 10K is going to be like, it's going to be like, oh, okay, this coin it's got a little bit of motion, because if it's at 8K or 7K, it's just probably dead, right? It's showing you coins that actually got momentum. And now with the migrated, the minimum is going to be 12K. What this is going to do is it's going to show all the coins on the migrated tab that are not completely dead, because you've seen those coins that are just at the floor, they've rugged and everything. You don't want to see those coins. What you're doing is you're filtering coins that are actually having motion, so you're not getting mixed up with coins. It's just like filtering your water, guys. Like, this is like so simple. If you're drinking water from a river and you're having parasites and all that other stuff, you're going to get sick, and you're going to, it's best to put it through a nice, carbon filter, or, charcoal or whatever you're doing. So it cleans out all the parasites, all the dirt and everything. And you get clean, clear water. And this is the same exact thing for trading. You're going to have a clear mind because you're not filled up with all the extra trash coins. You're gonna be able to pick good quality coins that actually can send. So what we're gonna do is on migrated, 120 is the max age. So this is 2 hours if you divide it in minutes. So this is gonna be the max amount of time that we're gonna have on migrated coins, because you don't wanna see a coin that's been here for one day that's just someone buys within 1 hour that has zero volume. It just takes up space. Top 10 holders, 40, dev holding percentage 40, snipers 40, insiders 40, and bundles 40. And this is for max. You don't want any more than that. And I'm being lenient again, right? I'm being lenient. Now, if the volume's super, super high, then you can change it. If the volume's super, super low, you can change it. Now, another super, super, super good tool is going to be Uxento. So Uxento. I'll have that also linked in the Discord. Everything's linked in the Discord. So if you guys do have any questions, you can completely reach out to me on there. I'm usually pretty active. And yeah, we have a really cool community in there. So I would highly recommend doing that because that's going to go into the next thing in trading. The most important thing is trading with a community or trading with other people. If you're trading alone, you're at an extreme disadvantage because you have to think about trading, right? If you have a pack of wolves that are hunting, if you have just one wolf that's trying to take down, you know, like a big elephant, or not, like elephants don't live in the mountains, but I'm going to say like a big elk or something, right? Then, or moose, right? He's going to probably get kicked by the moose and he's going to get cooked, right? If you have 10 of them, you have eyes on everything. So you could see that he kicked his leg and you could go attack him or something, right? This is the same thing for trading meme coins. If you have 10 eyes on a coin, 5 eyes on a coin, or even 3 to 4 eyes on a coin, right? Depending on what your skill level is or whatever, then you could buy into a coin and someone could be like, oh my gosh, Elon just tweeted this, right? While you were doing other research. And then the coin goes absolutely parabolic, right? Because this is like the octopus with 8 different tentacles or hands or whatever, right? Like it's absolutely OP, super, super, super insane. And this is what you need. It's like one of those non-negotiables, in my opinion, for trading. Now I can trade completely fine by myself or alone, right? And sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of peace and quiet, but this is usually during mellow hours, like EU hours where it's a little bit slower. I would still highly recommend trading with the group because then you guys have insight on everything. Now, I do have a free trading group in my Discord as well as a paid group in my Discord, which is the VIP section, where you can get personal one-on-ones with me as well as my own insight on coins. So I'll literally like pretty much mentor you on how to trade. So if you think about the price to pay versus getting rugged, losing all your money, right? It takes months and months and months and months to learn. And realistically, what it is you're investing in yourself, right? It's better to invest in yourself, learn everything, right? From me and other people, sorry, my freaking language. And why I think this is so important is because, and also the reason why I made the VIP section in general is because this is exactly what I wanted when I was new to trading meme coins. Because when I was new, I lost a lot of money trying to figure it out because I had to come up with my own thing. Everything that I watched on YouTube was always people, trying to sell something or farm their own, coin or whatever, right? I developed my own strategy that works for me and has worked for other people. Countless of my OGs that I used to trench with, we all have a very, very similar strategy, right? That we've learned off of each other, and it's different in their own little ways, right? But you're trading with people that are like-minded and also usually at a higher skill level, right? I'm not even the best trader in my server. There's people that are in here that are making like 100, 200K, every 3 months, right? And every month they're making 100K, 50K, right? All it takes is one good coin or, a couple good coins and you're out of the trenches, right? There is some crazy, crazy, crazy money to be made. And 99% of people in this space do lose money. So I highly recommend, at least at the bare minimum, getting into a group, right? And I have a free group and I put calls in there. I am going to be adding tools as well for the free group. But the VIP group, you're going to be getting the best tools. You're going to be getting in with people that are like-minded, that are in the actual trenches, right? That are super focused and probably better than you. So you can watch them and learn, right? You're going to be getting one-on-one calls with me. So you can actually learn and get your skill level from very, very beginner to knowing what you're doing, because 90% of people in here are gamblers, right? They just buy. I show you my personal strategy and I'll show you how to replicate it in your own way. Because if you completely copy someone, right, it doesn't work. If you completely copy trade them, you're not going to make money. So I show you how to become like those traders that actually are the 1% wallets, right? Because 90% of people get cooked in here. And that's just the cold hard truth. So you have to come in with real expectations on what can actually happen, right? I don't want you guys to be like, oh, I'm going to make 10 mil today. So yeah, super, super, super important. And if you really do think about it, the price to pay for 1 month, it's 0.3 or 0.4 SOL. I can't remember exactly what it is for VIP. You could even get the 1 year membership if you are really serious about it. But the reason why I'm plugging this in is because I really wish I had it, because I was just following blindly what people were telling me and whatever. If I had this when I was new, I would have set myself 6 months in advance, like ahead of myself. You're literally investing in yourself. Like, you have to think about that. You're investing in yourself and you're getting a head start over everybody. You're literally getting like a 6-month head start, because if not, you're going to have to learn everything the hard way, which, that's what I did. But if I would have, had at least someone to either help me or show me exactly what to do, then I would have been, or I would be way, 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 way further than I am currently, right? But that's completely fine. We're always learning and we're always trenching, right? But I'm just saying it's an investment in yourself, because what's going to end up happening 90% of the time is you're just going to be giving your money back into the trenches. And you're going to be like, dang, so I just lost $300 today. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. When you could have just paid like $300 to fully learn how to do a trade, and then you wouldn't be losing your money, right? And at the end of the day, you just invested in yourself. So you just got better, right? Instead of just giving your money back into the trenches, right? Into the casino. So after this, right? So you finally, let's say, have a group, you're trading with people, you're starting to trade with your own money. You're going to need to have your fees and everything else set up. So I showed you exactly what filters you need. Now, you're going to need to know exactly what you're looking at, because this can be confusing. So this is right here going to be the holder percentage, like the top 10 holder percentage. You don't want this to be that high. And the good thing is with the filters, I made it to where you're not going to be buying coins that are absolute obvious rugs. Now this cooking hat, right? The chef hat is the dev. So the dev, the cook, the cooker, whatever you want to call it, the dev, that's what we call it. So they have the dev sold is the developer that made the coin, the guy that created the coins sold, sorry. Now this is good on all the other coins because you don't want him to be in. It's kind of bearish. But if it's an AI coin, you need him to be in. If he sells on an AI coin, that's literally like going to kill the whole coin, because he's the one behind it, right? He's the one behind the project. Now, snipers, you do not want a lot of snipers. And the good thing is I've already filtered these out for you guys. I've already given you all the best filters that you need. So now we can look at this chart, right? So firstly, one thing you need to do is you need to get a Twitter tracker list, and you also need to get a wallet tracker list. And lucky for you guys, all these are in my Discord for free. So all you got to do is click the link, copy them, right? What you're going to do is you're going to go to trackers, you're going to go to customize feed, and you're going to be going to import, and you're going to put, it's basically a little file document of like text. So if you look at, if I go to export, it's going to look like this in the Discord, and you're going to push Control V. So this is going to show you all the Twitters, and you're just going to put import, and then you're going to put OK, and you're going to get all the top Twitters to track. And the amazing thing about Axiom is it's already built into the app for free. Usually you have to pay like $500 a month for a Twitter tracker. And same for a wallet tracker, because this gets you at the millisecond they do a trade. Now, all my wallets that I track, all the top wallets on chain, as well as like sleeping giant wallets, right? These are wallets that have been dormant for a while. They're on vacation. They're partying in Ibiza right now. They're in Barcelona. They're in France. They're just chilling, right? Enjoying their summer. Once they start coming back, these are the wallets you're going to want to be looking at, because these are the guys that are actually cooking, right? And it's also good to know that who's in your coin, right? Because a lot of people are farmers. So you got to know these things. And you do the same thing to import your wallets. You're going to go to Wallet Manager, and you're going to go to import. You're going to paste the file, right? Or paste the words. It's like a bunch of words. Like I'll just demonstrate it. Export. So let's say you're going to download the file or open the file, push Control A to copy everything, and push Control V. So these shows you all your wallets. You're going to put import, and then you can also put notifications if you would like, so you can see which wallets, or select certain wallets to get notifications for when they do a trade. So next, after you've done all these things, like I said, I mentioned this before, but you're going to want UXento. If you want to see these highlighted coins, if you want to see right here, it was mentioned in Pastel Alpha, which is a group, right? Prosperity, which is a group, Tag, which is a group, right? All these groups are like insider groups, right? They're like alpha groups. And I have one of my own, like I mentioned before. And it's growing a lot, very, very quickly. So, and obviously not at the price of these. Some of these are like 100, 200 a month. Absolutely insane, right? But people are willing to pay that price because it literally pays itself off in like one trade, right? if you get in my VIP group, right? It's like 70 a month, 75 a month. You could even try it out for a week, right? If you want to do that. And yeah, it literally pays itself off in one trade. All you need is one good coin, one good call out. Like say you buy one soul, you double it into 2 soul. You just paid for the whole month for free. And now you already have all the best tools and you literally got an advantage over every single other person that is trading these coins. Because some people are trading off their phone, right? Which is an disadvantage. I think everybody should trade on a computer at least, or laptop, right? Now, sometimes if you're on your phone, it's fine. It just depends, right? If you're trading like all these new coins, they just move super fast. So it's best to have a computer. But you can totally trade off a phone. I'm not saying you can't. But if you're trading off a phone, most people do it on Phantom Wallet. That's like stupid. Like that, we're not in 2020 anymore, right? Like I would say use Axiom on your phone. You could do that, right? Just do it through a web browser or whatever. That way that you can see the chart moving, right? Or some people trade on Deck Screener, which we're not in 2020 anymore, like I said. So use a actual platform like Axiom, Padre, whatever you choose, okay? So then download UXento as well, so you can see all the groups that it's mentioned in. It also highlights coins that are on Bonk. Super, super, super goated, right? You can also see the volume, right? So P&L tracker, you can see the pulse tracker. So it looks like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. They also added a chart on here. So it shows you the, like your P&L basically on a chart. So they just added that recently. And let's see, hourly volume, super important. So it shows you what coins are trending and the volume, if it's up or down. You can see the hourly meta of coins, like the name of coins that are super, super popular. And also, you get so much information. That's what trading is. It's about information. And if you have an advantage of information of other traders, like Insight, Alpha, Insider, whatever it is, then you're going to be ahead of everybody else. And if you can get ahead of everybody else, then you're going to be the best trader. Like that's literally how it is. So let's look at this Puri coin like we were looking at before. Now, I'm going to keep this very, very simple. The fees, just put 0.001, 0.001 on priority and on bribe, which is going to be your MEV protection. Turn that on. And you don't really need MEV protection for sell. You can turn it on if you want. It will just make your transaction a tiny bit slower. With sells, I just like to get out. Really unlikely you get sell MEV'd, right? And I already explained what a MEV is. You basically get sandwiched your transaction. They put a higher fee and you lose money, right? Because they MEV you. So if you see these super fat candles, like this is a MEV, and these super high candles that shoot up and shoot down in the same second, this is a MEV right here. So what are we looking at on this coin, right? This looks like it was a tweet about some sort of like AI. It looks like Truth Terminal kind of thing. So Claude the Cat, Puri. It was made on Bonk. Now 40% bundlers. That's a lot, right? That's not a good sign on the coin. Now we look at the holder count, right? So the top holders, 5%, 3%, 3%, 3%. What we're looking for, the most important thing is if these holders are real, because this is what most people fall for, is these scam coins. So what we're going to be looking for is holders that have real balances, right? Look at what I just told you. 46% bundles. Look at what they're doing to the coin. They're unbundling, so they're nuking the price. So this is something that you need to look, because you're going to be buying these coins up here. Let me switch my transactions to recent. It's still super bundled. So you're going to buy and you're going to keep getting nuked on, right? So bundles, you want them to be low. You want top 10 holders to be low, as well as you want the holders to be real and actual traders, because the bundles are getting smart, okay? And I've made videos about this before, but you need to be paying attention to holders. If you guys are super, super, super lazy and you just buy into random coins, you're going to lose money. You have to do a little bit of investigating of if the coin is actually a scam or not, because the scammers are making the coins look real. So you have to make sure it's not actually a real coin, or if it is, whatever, right? So let's look at the top holder. So he bought Puri and Obama. He bought now Casino. Let's look at this. So he's a wallet I track. And let's look at the next guy, Puri and A1. So if they've traded different coins, that's good, because real people they don't trade all the same coin at the same time, okay? If they all have very small soul balances as well, that's because they were funded. So if you need to know even more about the coin, 100% look at Padre and look on the holders as well. So we can look at the same coin. I'm going to copy the CA for Puri, paste it into here, and we're going to look at it. The reason I love looking at this platform for on-chain analysis is because look, It tells me what platform they're on. Axiom, Photon, and also this is one of the most important things, is it shows you when the address was funded, 10 hours ago, 26 minutes ago. So this one's most likely a bundle, because when people, especially if all the wallets are these flowers or leaves, it's because they were all funded, right, by the main wallet that, let's say, has 10 SOL. They send each of the 10 wallets 1 SOL, and they all buy with 1 SOL, right? So that means they were funded from that one wallet, which means they can sell all the coins, right? That's what a bundle is. If you didn't know what a bundle is, it's one person or a group of people that have control over multiple wallets. Because if you were to buy with, all those wallets at the same time, no one would want to buy the coin because there's too much supply. Now, if all these wallets are on the same platform, if all of them are on Photon, all of the wallets on the coin, that's very suspicious. You want to have people that are on Axiom, Photon, Bolex, right? Even though Axiom's obviously the best, right? But you want people to be on multiple platforms because it shows that the coin's real. Because most people fall for, which I cannot lie, they are easy, like, you can fall for them. They look real. But if you do actually look into the coin, the on-chain analysis never lies, right? So if you do take 5 seconds to do research and look at the coin, this will literally save you from like 80 to 90% of rugs. If you look at the coin as well, you don't want the top holder percentage to be more than like 4 to 5% for the people that are in the top holders. Because that can be very, very, very like bearish, because people don't want someone that has 5 or 6% of the coin. Because that doesn't mean the coin will go down 5 or 6%. That means the coin could literally go down like 15% if they one-clipped it, or 20%, or even more, right? Because the price impact. So this is like a super, super, super crucial thing to do, super important to look at, and very good to look at both, because both platforms have very, very, very good insight, right? And if you look at this, right, like, sure, this gives you a lot of info, but it's also good to see what platform they're trading on. It shows you the fresh holding percentage. Really, really, really good tools on both. Also, you can see if DEX is paid, so DEX is not paid. You can see if DEX is paid right here. Now, another very important tool that helps you visualize this in a very easy way, instead of looking at bundles, is looking at bubble maps. So it's good to use both of these, because sometimes one of them is accurate and one of them isn't accurate. So we're going to look at bubble maps, right? So we looked at Inside X, it didn't give us anything. So now we can look at bubble maps. With Axiom, they give you 3 different ones. So we don't see anything, right? But if we click the magic nodes, this is going to route it through different nodes to see if they try to like mix the funds or money, like basically mix the funds, or you could say money launder or whatever. They tried to hide the funds through different transactions. And you could see, yes, there's some wallets that have appeared on the magic nodes, right? So this does an even harder analysis, and we found some. Now you can also look at Cabal Spy, which will show you the KOLs that were in this coin or are still in. So it looks like Cupsy bot. We also got DVCs, Drool, Ghosty, and obviously Casino. We saw him buy. So this helps you visualize it in a very easy way, and very, very quickly too. Now the next thing is insiders. You do know insiders are like never good. Maybe if, like, for example, if I sent like all my tokens to Elon Musk, right, and I was the dev, that would be, I guess, bullish, right? Because Elon Musk isn't going to sell the tokens. Like, he doesn't care. He doesn't even probably check his own wallet, right? So that would be a good, but you'd have to make sure that's actually his wallet, because 90% of these insiders are people that have never bought the token. They were sent the token. So people will do that to send it to themselves, basically. And so it doesn't look like they're holding that much, right? But this is very, very, very easy to see if you're trading on a platform like Axiom or Padre or whatever, right? But the thing is, you need to be staying up to date with these platforms. I'm literally giving you guys the best platform, and with my link, you guys get an extra like 10 to 15% off of fees, plus you get the highest rake back. So if you just sign up, without the link, you're going to be paying extra in fees. So you're out of every other platform, right? Bullx is outdated. I switched from Bullx I started with Photon. Realistically, I started with Phantom. Then I moved to Photon. Then I moved to Bullx. Then I moved to Bullx Neo. Then I moved to Axiom. Okay? These are super, 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 super essential. And yeah, I mean, we're already, like 30 minutes into this video. And yeah, if you guys are still watching, you guys are G's because I mean, like 90% of people would get bored because I'm not highly editing the video. Like seriously, this is me trying to give you as much information as I can in one video, like literally a whole course, okay? Because most people are like, oh, do this and right? Like I'm literally giving you guys as much information as I can in this video. And yeah, like, so make sure you're dropping a like, make sure you're dropping a comment down below if there's any other videos as well that you would like me to touch up on, or if there's any questions as well, right? Because there is a lot of information, so I'm sure you guys are gonna have a lot of questions on everything, which is completely fine, right? I'm here to answer them because when I was new, I wish people were able to answer my questions instead of me having to figure it out myself with my own money, right? Because I lost a lot of money when I was learning. But you can make it all back very quickly when you're trading, right? But you have to have the skill. So are you going to do basically, are you going to speed up your learning process by, paying a tiny bit of money, right? Or you could learn it yourself, right? And it takes a little bit more time. For most people, time is money, right? So spending, $80, $100, a couple $100 to learn is 100% worth it, right? I'm not saying that you guys need to join my group. There's other groups out there, right? I'm just recommending if you would like to learn from me personally, or if you would like to not even just learn from me, if you would like to trade with people that are like-minded, that are at a higher skill level, that have been doing this for a while, then join a alpha group or a VIP group in general, right? Don't just join a callers group that just calls out coins, because you're not going to learn anything. You're just going to there are people who are like, oh, buy this coin. You buy it, and then maybe they're right 3 times out of like 10, and then you're going to buy into the next coin and you're going to get rugged. And you'll be like, oh shoot, how did I get rugged? I paid $100. I paid $500 for this alpha group, but I didn't know. You don't have any of the skills to know, oh, before I buy this, is this a rug? And you can do the quick checks, and then you can be the one that's ahead of everybody else, right? Now, if you already are in an alpha group, you already know. The thing is, there's alpha groups out there, right, that will do coins and all that other stuff, that will have people that are like-minded, but none of them will actually have someone that's teaching you, right? Now, like, sure, I cannot sit and teach you for like 6 months, like straight, right? Well, in the sense of like calling you for like 15, 20 hours a day, right? Like, because that's like impossible. Like, I got to make my own money too. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I got to be trenching. I have my own life that I'm doing, but I can literally sit down. You can hop in the VC, right? With other people that are trenching. You can watch me what I'm doing. I can show you where I went wrong, where you went wrong on that trade, and you can learn off of each other, right? And even without a paid group or anything, you could do this in a free group. You can learn off of people. You can watch people. I'm just saying, this is a super, 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 super important thing when you're trading, okay? Information, community, all these are the most important factors. Now, if we're going to be looking at coins, right? This is going to be like the last segment before I get into the psychological level. I'm going to break down a very, very, very simple thing. Don't copy trade Cupsy. This is like the most like beginner thing. Like, but everybody does it because they see he makes $2 million a month, and they want to get a little bit of the gains. They're going to farm you. They know that they have copy traders, and I'm going to literally give you a video on how to actually make money copy trading. Right? Which, believe it or not, it's not buying Cupsy's coins, right? Like, I'll show you an in-depth video on that, right? Now, we're getting to this point of the video where I'm like slowing down a little bit just because like you guys have made it this far. So I'm really giving you my own insight on these coins, right? Or just in my own experience in general, right? Because if some people watch the first 10 minutes, get bored, who knows what they're going to do, right? Like go doom scroll on TikTok, right? Or just go watch like some like big influencer, like just farming people, right? On like Twitch or whatever, right? This is just the cold hard truth, guys. Like, I'm just being so for real. There's so many different paths in crypto. You could trade meme coins. You could trade altcoins. I've been in crypto since like 2021, right? And I've been in meme coins, like actually trenching since like May of last year. So this is just me, imagine just me literally just standing right in front of you and talking to you. This is kind of how it is right now, right? You guys have gone to this far in the video. If you have made it this far in the video, like, I can 100% assure you that you're going to make it, because whether it's through me, whether it's through somebody else, or it's through you discovering yourself, you are disciplined and you're locked in enough to be able to sit through this long of a video, right? Because it is long, but you're going to make it no matter what. That's kind of what I want to say, right? There is going to be times that I lose money. Everybody loses money, right? But this is like the main thing, right? That's why I'm kind of saving some of the psychological stuff, right? Because that's like one of the most important things, believe it or not, in trading, is the psychological part of it. Is the reason to that is this is just a mind game. And everybody's like, oh yeah, the trenches and everything. It's literally you versus you at the end of the day. Because it's not that hard to be successful in anything, right? Like I made money, good money before trading meme coins, before being in crypto. I sell vintage clothes, right? And I do a bunch of other things as well. This is just one of the things. So I've made my bread before, right? I bought a nice car before. And it's because all you need realistically is the discipline. And not just that, is motivation, right? But motivation wears off. You need discipline. And if you're disciplined enough, you're already at this point of the video, right? You're just listening to me yapping about whatever, right? So the most important thing is going to be your psychological state. You need to be fine, first of all, with losing a little bit of money learning, okay? But if you need to not revenge trade, this is like the most important thing, because revenge trading is you're not in a good state of mind to be trading, first of all, because let's say you're down $100, right? You're going to be like, oh, I need to get my $100 back, right? And sometimes you say like, oh, just give me break even and I'll get out, right? Just what you got to do is take a break, go on a walk, take a chill pill, and clear your mind, right? Because what you're going to be doing is you're going to be taking on higher risk, right? With less reward in order to try to capture back your gains, which is a absolute no, right? Because then you're going to be trading very, very, very stupidly, and most likely you're going to lose, okay? So what you're going to be doing is you're going to notice, right? Like you're going to be like, oh man, I just got dumped on. Oh, right? So you need to be trading like these other traders. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you a little like my own analysis on this coin, right? It's like the thing is with technical analysis, especially with meme coins, these are so volatile. There's so many different factors. If you're trading Bitcoin and Solana, right, like futures, then yeah, technical analysis can be very useful. For meme coins, there is a very like bare term of psychological levels on coins that everybody knows and respects. So you got to look at 1, 5s, and 10s, right? Like this is very, very simple, and it's actually true. Like you could look at any coin and you're going to be like, oh yeah, Star is right. Okay, so let's get started. So 1s and 5s and 10s. So where do coins have pressure? Where do they have resistance? Well, let's look at the chart. So let me close some of these tabs because I got a bunch of tabs. Let me close this one, this one. Okay, so let's look at a bigger coin. Let's look at this surprised Pikachu. Okay, so this coin has a support at around 40K, and we can see that. Let me go on a little bit of a bigger time frame, like 5 second, because this coin is a little bit older. So we've noticed this coin held this area, right? It held this area. So at this point, when a coin breaks a support, right? Or sorry, when a coin breaks a resistance, right? You could see this coin went up to 45, 46K. It doesn't have to be on the exact dot, but it tried to break it, right? Even West bought. And when it rejects that level, then it comes down really, really hard because people panic. Now it was able to come back up again and it rejected it, right? And it went down. It tried to do it again, right? It was consolidating. This is really usually like kind of a bad sign because like it shows that the coin's weak, right? The sellers are beating the buyers. Now, when you see a breakout like this, when a coin breaks above a resistance level, then the resistance becomes a support. So as you can see, it broke past here. And usually when they break past, it shoots up a little bit harder, right? But it stayed in this range. So what it kind of did is it's like a pressure cooker, right? It's getting smaller and tighter, and then it shoots up, okay? So this is a very, very, very basic like terms of like technical analysis, right? Now, where does this imply in meme coins? Well, typically there's a lot of selling pressure on pump fund or meme coins on migration, right? Because everybody wants like, oh, if I buy in at 8K, I'm going to sell at migration and make a bunch of money. You've said that. I promise you've said that in your head. And everybody thinks like you do, right? Because like we're human, right? So you got to be able to differentiate yourself from other traders. If you put your stop loss right before migration or a little bit before that, right? Then, you're probably going to realize, oh shoot, my take profit's been hitting a lot more lately, because when you set it after migration, everybody starts nuking the price and then you end up round tripping. So you could see that it looks like this OG ant bought with like 1.23K, and it finally broke, right? And when these coins are testing that resistance level for so long and they finally break, they go absolutely insane, right? Because it's like a pressure cooker and it blows off the top. Now, where's the next support? Well, you could see there's a very strong support at around 80K. It was PvPing here. All the people that got in here, right? All the people that got in down here are starting to sell, and they are going to be selling as soon as it migrates, right? So you could see it built another support right around here at 80K, right? Which is a perfect clean number. And now you're going to be wondering, where's another support at? Well, 1, 5s, and 10s. There's another support at 100K, right? Now you don't really see that line. It kind of wicks right here. Let me bring that down a little bit, because it's like a super big block, right? Depending on what time frame you are. Now, you don't have to draw, like I'm drawing these so you guys can visualize this, right? I already have these like visualized in my head. I already know how to like trade, right? Which this skill comes naturally. Now, if this coin, it does also, a support does not mean the coin's going to like never go down. If a coin breaks past its support, that means there is going to be, that's like the thing that's kind of holding it up, right? That's like it's what it says, a support. So when coins break past supports, just like how this went flying when it broke its resistance up here, right? When it tried it multiple times, it's going to do the same, but backwards. It's going to shoot down super, super, super hard until it finds another support. So if it, let's say people start selling at around this 100K level, and let's say it breaks past 100K to like 95K, just like it did right now. Look at that. So 100K is a support right here, right? So you could see it bounced a little bit. Now you need to be watching this very carefully, because if it doesn't hold this very strong, if it doesn't start coming back up quickly, right? You could see it's weak. It's starting to look weak right here. There's 2 closed candles that are red. Then, I mean, that's typically a bearish sign, right? So it's holding really, really like tightly here. So it's like 50-50 chance that it goes up or down, right? If it were to come back up really, really quickly after that sell, then it shows there's a lot of buy pressure and it's like bullish for the coin. So you can see it's holding kind of on my line, right? And if it doesn't hold this 100K, 99K level, right, it can bounce a little bit between this. If it keeps closing red on the 5-second chart, or any, like you can see it's closing, right? It just broke down between this, right? Because it wasn't revamping up here. Now look at, like, bro, these lines are so beautiful, because like, look at how it's like hitting it perfectly, right? But this is another support, and it broke its support, right? So it wicked below it. Now there's a lot of red candles. Now what's another level? Well, you would say around maybe 60K and 50K. The strong support would be at 50K. Right here. 50K. Boom. That would be a very strong level. 50% of 100K. And the strongest level of support would be right here, right? Because this was its resistance. Once you break past resistance, the resistance turns into support, okay? Look at that. Like, and if you're a smart trader, you would have been like, okay, now this is starting to look maybe like an entry, right? Now, you could even DCA, right? You could buy like 0.5 SOL here, and you could buy 0.5 SOL at 60K, and you could buy 0.5 SOL at 50K. Now, this is all if the coin's an actual good coin. This is a community coin. The DEX is paid, which is a good sign, right? Now, the good thing is this coin is holding my support, right, that I marked right here. So this is actually a good sign. You could see this one was struggling, right? So as long as it can hold this, this might start bouncing back up to whether it like 80, 90K, and you could make a 20, 30% scalp, right? This is what I teach. This is what I show. There's a ton of different trading methods, right? Now, if this coin doesn't hold this, it can easily fly super, super hard back down to its next support, right? And look at that. Exactly what I'm telling you. Boom. These are the buy zones right here. Buy zone, buy zone. Look at that. You're already up like what, 20%, 15%? With one soul, you're already up 40 bucks, right? And now this is where it needs to break this resistance, right? Because this turned into a resistance and it broke past 100. So that's another bullish sign, right? If it was struggling a lot here, then you'd just get out. But it broke past its support. So finally, this resistance turned back into a support. You could see it broke past here. Now it's supported, right? It broke here, went up here. It held here a little bit before it went down. So another support. It went down, retried, and it's finally breaking. Now the next support or the next resistance is going to be right up here at like 135. You could see this is its all-time high. So the coin is going to now try to get back up to here. If it doesn't start going up strongly, right, you can see it's struggling here. Me personally, if I'm scalping from 70 all the way, I'm clipping out right here because this looks weird to me. It's too many red. Look at that. Now it's going down. So I could have sold right there for a little scalp. And then, yeah, move on to the next trade, right? But it looks like it's finally starting to like back up. Now, there's so many different hypotheticals. Yes, I know, right? But you're with scalping, you're doing anywhere from 20, 10, 15, 20, all the way up to like 30, 40% gain, getting out, right? You're not looking to like make like 10,000, right? You're stacking in tons and tons and tons of small coins or small gains, which add up like crazy. I mean, bro, 20, 30% is not even small. Like realistically, like that's still pretty good. Especially if you take like 10 trades in 1 hour and all those 10 trades are 30%, you're making like 300%, right? Which most people wait 1 hour to finally get a coin that makes them 300%, right? And they end up round tripping everything. So we could see the support is holding. Now it did wick down below. It looks like it just broke past its support. So let's just see what happens, right? If we look at the chart, it's tried to break past its all-time high right here and it failed. So the liquidity is going to be found lower because there's not enough liquidity up here, right? There's not enough money to bid the price higher. But you can see it's still holding on this support. But if there's not enough like momentum, the coin is eventually going to break past its support right here, right? If there's not enough buyers, right? Let's say this guy sells all of his copy traders. It's going to look for another support. Or here's one other thing too. Say that the community got deleted by the owner. This thing's going to get completely giga nuked, right? Because like the supports are not going to mean nothing anymore. Now this is actually pretty bullish. Look at this. This is bullish because it's held its support and it's coming back to try again. Just like it did back here, right? It came back and tried again to break its resistance and it finally broke. So if it can break past this 130K level, then it's going to be testing. It's in price discovery, right? So that means if it can break past this line right here, right? Oh my gosh, that was like the worst thing. If it can break past here, it's in price discovery. So who knows how hard it could send after that, right? I didn't think this would send, right? I didn't think it would send this hard. You see, like it's chilling and then boom, you see that fat candle, right? Because it's in price discovery area, right? Like that's where, oh my goodness, let me put this, there we go. Yeah, so basically, this is like the very, very basics of like, what's it called? Of like TA, I guess, on meme coins. The only reason I'm people might think it's funny, whatever, right? I think this is an amazing like thing to like learn because I mean you're not going to be using it all the time. Like seriously, like with meme coins, especially with how fast they move, they will break past so many supports so fast, right? They'll just rug completely to zero. But it's a very, 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 very important thing to learn if you're in, especially in bigger market cap coins, because the higher the market cap, the more established it is, the more it applies, right? You know how everybody's like, oh, this coin can hit 100 mil. Why do they say that? Because 100 mil, everybody wants the golden number. And what is that 100 mil? That's a resistance. If it can shoot past 100 mil, it's probably going to fly like crazy. Same thing with if this coin can touch a mil. You guys say all these things. The thing is, like, you guys say all these things, but you don't know like the reasoning behind it, right? It's all about psychology. If you can learn the psychology behind trading, then you're going to be able to trade, better than everybody else, right? And we can even look at my own wallet. Like I've been able to run up from the very beginning literally like $30. It looks, yeah, $37, like 0.3 Sol, 0.2 Sol, all the way up to like 35K. Just on this one wallet alone, right? I have multiple different wallets. I traded on Bullux before. I ran up like 40K on that account. So realistically, guys, like lines don't mean anything. I'm just going to be honest. I don't draw a bunch of lines usually. I'm demonstrating to you guys like how coins like work, because a lot of coins do a lot of different things, right? Every coin is a representation on how people feel and the attention. That's literally what meme coins are, right? It's attention. That's what every chart is. It's literally just how people feel. Do they think it's overvalued or undervalued? But I'm showing you how to look at the chart a different way instead of just buying randomly. This is how you can buy strategically, right? Now, the last thing that I'm going to touch up on charts is always looking for 50. It's holding this support very well, by the way. But if it breaks past, if it starts dumping, then this coin's probably dead. But if it can, it needs something to push it higher, right? Just because there's support and resistance, there needs to be external factors. There needs to be someone being like, okay, I'm going to pay Dex, or I'm going to do this. Dex is already paid. So there needs to be something else. I'm going to pay Boost for Dex Screener, right? Or whatever. That can be bullish to push it up, because it needs to be priced in, right? People need to price it into the chart. If there's nothing to price in, they're going to price out. They're going to get out, okay? So the last thing that I wanted to touch up on is we'll always enter within 30 to 50, maybe 60% dips. Right? Never. I know people that are like, oh, like I'm gonna get an entry, and they buy on a 10% dip, and then they wonder why they lose money. If we look at this, 135 all the way down to 70, that's exactly what I told you, a 50% dip. So if you were seeing the coin up here, if it was a good coin, that's not a rug coin, there's all these factors, right? Then you're like, okay, where am I gonna enter? Well, 30 to 60%. So I would say enter it, from 130K. A good entry would be on support, obviously, 30% at 100K. But the best entry would probably be at like 50%, right? A fat sell-off, which would be right here. And you could see all these candles like I'm showing you right here. Let's zoom in. This is the accumulation zone right here. Let me move those. This is accumulation. You could see these buys themselves. It's building support like here as well. People are accumulating. It goes up, 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 up. And then people start selling, right? They start taking their profits. Now, this coin is honestly looking pretty good. As long as it can hold this support, it can start popping off and shoot up past here. So yeah, I kind of broke down a more of a technical guide on meme coins. There is so much that I can tell you, right, on especially narratives and things that can actually run. But I've given you guys so much information. So, I mean, the least you guys could do is drop a like, you know what I'm saying? But, and this is really what I wish I knew, learned when I was starting to trade. Because this is super. I mean, this is information that you guys have to pay for, right? And I have my own section that has even more stuff, right? Like insider stuff, like crazy stuff that you guys wouldn't even think about, right? Like tricks, like all these different things, right? How to find insider wallets, how to track down people, do all these crazy things, right? And yeah, I mean, it would be a super long video. And that's kind of why I made that I have the VIP. So for people that are serious, like you guys, right? That are very focused and trying to actually learn how to make money, right? That you're serious, you're taking yourself seriously, and you're taking your trading journey seriously. That's literally the whole point I made the VIP. You get one-on-one calls, all that stuff, right? I could go on a list, tools and insight. If I find a coin that's really good, I put my calls right away in there before any other place, right? Before I put it on, X, or before I put it on my main chat in my server, it's going to be in VIP. It's the VIP members first, because those are the people that are the most locked in, of course, right? And it's like a pay to win game. I'm sorry, guys, it's a pay to win. I don't want to burst the bubble, but that's just how it works, bro. That's how it works. If you know people that know people, right? If you know the guys that are making the coins, you can get in on the coins first. That's just the whole point. That's why people make VIP sections. You can hate it all you want, but that's just the truth, okay? So I'm going to leave this course off there. I've given you guys insane amounts of information. So I know it's going to be a lot to unpack. And yeah, I'm completely fine with that. We're closing this video off almost literally exactly at an hour. It looks like 59 minutes. So yeah, that was great. Yeah. And I'm just going to end off the video there. Make sure you drop a like and drop any comments on any future videos you'd like me to release. And yeah, feel free to join the Discord. It's free. Yeah, thank you for watching.